Linus's Security Blanket is the fifth episode of the first season of the Charlie Brown and Snoopy show, and as always, I will go through the various segments and share some thoughts, so there will be spoilers from this point on. And I have to say, as a whole, this is a really great episode. I liked pretty much all of the segments. One of them I didn't care for much, but it was also very brief, so that's not really much of a problem. The first one is Snoopy and Woodstock, and despite the fact that Snoopy and Woodstock are my two least favourite characters, I thought this was rather entertaining. It seems like a cat, the next door cat, is fighting with Woodstock. So Snoopy goes to try and rescue Woodstock, which in itself is adorable, but it turns out it's just a yellow glove. And I love the way this little yellow glove is animated because now I will only ever see Woodstock as a glove. And I really thoroughly enjoyed that one. I think this segment went on for a little bit longer than I would have liked it to have done, but generally I liked it a lot more than I was expecting. The second one is just called Sally, and in this one, Sally is giving a class presentation about a leaf and some other things, and basically she just makes a bunch of jokes. The one about centimeters I thought was pretty good, not too bad at all, definitely very well written. Then we have Piano, which is, of course, Lucy and Schroeder, and also Snoopy, and there's some talk about Beethoven and it's not too bad. It's the usual kind of exchange we expect with Lucy and Schroeder, and it was fairly pleasant. Then we have baseball, and Charlie Brown is on the baseball pitcher's mound, and it starts to rain, and I love how the rain is animated. I've mentioned this before with Charlie Brown cartoons, possibly with the Charlie Brown and Snoopy show, but I just love how it looks when it rains. I think it's so effective. And in the background, background music is My Bonnie Lies Over the Ocean, which I thought was a really nice touch. Definitely a really enjoyable segment. Then we have one that I actually thought was very thought provoking. Charlie Brown goes to see Lucy at her psychiatrist's stand, and she asks him if he prefers sunrises or sunsets. This segment is called Sunsets, and Charlie Brown gives an answer, and Lucy gives a description of what that means about his personality, and it made me think. First of all, do I prefer sunrises or sunsets? But also, would that actually say a lot about a person's personality? So I actually found that one to be very thought provoking. It's not too long, they didn't milk it for more than it was worth. I think it was probably the perfect length. Then we have football, which is, of course, another chance for Charlie Brown to try and kick the football. And I know I said spoilers, but I won't reveal exactly what happens, but it amused me. It amused me a lot. He waits a very long time and thinks he's found the perfect solution, but whether it works or not, I'm not going to say. Then we have Security Blanket, and the animation for this is the cutest thing ever. Linus asks Snoopy, or even demands of Snoopy, that he keeps his security blanket and does not give it back to him under any circumstances. So Snoopy decides to turn the blanket into a sport jacket, and just the little animation of Snoopy wearing this little green jacket is just so adorable and so cute, and Linus is crawling around a lot of the time, desperate to even just touch Snoopy. And it's actually really inspiring because Linus starts to overcome this addiction to his blanket, and I found it to be really inspirational. And then Charlie Brown does something, and it's rather amusing. So I thought it worked very, very well. We, we have Kite as well, which has some amazing animation. Visually, this is a very funny episode. In Kite, Charlie Brown gets tangled up in his kite string, and he's hanging upside down from the tree. And Lucy keeps walking past, talking about different things, including Poe's Pit and the Pendulum. And Charlie Brown starts to swing like a pendulum, and there are a couple of other things, and it's just really entertaining and very well done. And just the image of Charlie Brown hanging upside down, and just the look on his face, I found it to be very, very amusing. Penultimate, we have my least favourite one. This is called Woodstock, and it's not much happens. I think it's probably the shortest in the whole thing, so that worked in my favour. And it's Snoopy and Woodstock. I suppose he would be called Snoopy Brown. But it's Snoopy and Woodstock, and Snoopy carries Woodstock in his mouth, which I thought was quite cute. And honestly, I didn't care too much for it. I don't have too many thoughts on it. And then we end with Clinging Snoopy, which is the cutest thing ever, because Charlie Brown says that he likes dogs, and Snoopy clings onto his arm, and as he goes around asking people Snoopy just gets clingier and clingier, and it's so cute and adorable. And then Lucy's involvement, I thought, was both really effective and then very funny. So I had a lot of fun with it. I think it's a really solid way to end a really brilliant episode. Apart from the segment Woodstock, I enjoyed all of it. And it's very well written, but it's exceptionally well animated. And I really had a lot of fun with this one. I think so far, this might be my favorite Charlie Brown and Snoopy show episode, but there are still quite a few to go. But for now, definitely very happy with it and absolutely recommend it.